Hello everybody, I'm Quinn Bradley, the founder of Friends of Quinn, and my interviewee today is Whoopi Goldberg herself.
Yay!
So Whoopi, as a young child, you struggled to read, and when you found out that you had dyslexia, how did that make you feel?
Well, it was nice to know that I wasn't just lazy and that I didn't have to sort of explain to people anymore, that it wasn't that I didn't want to do it. It was just that I was having a hard time because, back in the olden days, they just assumed that you were just lazy and
Stupid
and all these other things. But the thing that crushed me more than anything was I didn't understand how they didn't see that I was smart. I just couldn't figure things the way they were doing it.
Were you ever made fun of as a child in school?
Yes, but not because I couldn't keep up, but because I was sort of odd. I was a little bit strange. When you're 8 or 9, it seems odd to other people as opposed to just, oh, you're just a little different.
What was your support system like growing up?
My mom, she would say to me, Karen, I know you get this because if I tell you, you understand it. I don't know what it is you have or don't have, but it's not something that's going to freak me out.
Do you think it runs in the family a little bit?
I think it does now, but as far as we can tell, nobody else has it but me.
Do you think your dyslexia got you to where you are today?
I'm sure it had a large hand in it, yeah. And the fact that since I was born, I've always known I wanted to pretend to put myself in other time periods, to be able to pretend to be another species. I mean, that stuff to me is interesting and it helps my mind expand.
Sure. Yeah, it's our way of escaping the real life, and I think normal people can't really do that. They have a harder time.
I think they have a very hard time. I feel bad for them.
I kind of do too. You're one of the only people to win an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony Award.
There's 20 of us.
Oh.
Yes, there's 20 of us.
How does that make you feel, knowing that you have dyslexia?
Well, I didn't know until, I guess, a year or two ago when they asked me to come to 30 Rock. I had no idea there was anything called an EGOT. I just knew the stuff was at the house. And then people started saying, oh, that's a big deal. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
You started out as a comedian, correct?
No, I started out as a straight actor.
Oh, a straight
actor. And
I
couldn't get any work because people would look and I'd go try to do some Shakespeare and they go, what are you here for? And I'd say, well, I'd like to audition for them. They go, no. Next. So I wrote a whole bunch of stuff for me to do so I could show people what I was capable of. And that sort of kicked everything off.
What would you say is the most challenging part of having dyslexia, and what advantages do you think it has given you?
I think the advantage is my brain sees and puts information in my head differently. Sometimes more interestingly, I think, than if I saw like everyone else. I think it's less challenging now because we have some idea about it. But I think the challenge will always be how we see ourselves. Not as folks with a handicap, but folks with an interesting perspective on everything.
Sure.
What
advice would you give to a parent who has a child and their child has just been diagnosed with dyslexia?
Stop trying to find a reason that it happened. We don't know why it happened. So it's not your fault. So let that go and start paying attention. So you can understand that I do things differently. You have to pay attention to see how I'm doing stuff. If you tell me all kinds of stuff and I know it from memory, that's a big deal. Don't say, oh, you're not getting it. They are getting it. You have to pay attention. Parents, pay attention.
And don't call them stupid.
No, I say this in my shows all the time. People always say to me, why do you use the language that you use? I said, because I like it. The words I use, you can say lovingly, but you cannot say stupid lovingly. You don't want that word.
Whoopi, thank you so much.
When my pleasure, baby.